Hey guys, Sean Terry here, flip2freedom.com. Hope you're doing well. All right, in this video, we want to talk everything about motivated sellers, the conceptual idea when it comes to finding motivated sellers. We're going to talk about the three types of distress that a motivated seller has so you can understand what you're looking for. Then we're going to talk about the three ways to find motivated sellers. We got basically free way to find motivated sellers. We got cheap ways and we got paid ways. We're also going to talk about what multi-million-dollar wholesalers that do millions of dollars a year in revenue, what are their top three lead sources? So we're actually going to talk about that. I'm going to take you in some different websites. We got a ton of stuff to show you. It's going to be incredibly valuable. So if you're ready to get into it, let's do it right now.
I can't take no loss. Yeah. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my.
All right, so if we don't know each other, my name's Sean Terry. I've been wholesaling now for 19 years and pretty much have seen everything. I was a one-man show for a very long time. Then I started hiring. Now we have a big business here in Phoenix, Arizona. We do deals nationally all across the country. We do everything over the phone, and we do millions and millions of dollars in wholesale fees nationally. So in this video, we want to talk about motivated sellers and how you can go out there and find motivated sellers. And it doesn't matter what the budget is. We're going to talk about exactly how to do that. So if you could do me a favor, if you want to go out and crush it, you want to go out there and find a bunch of motivated sellers, and you want to do deals making $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a deal, making millions of dollars a year, hit the like and subscribe button. And I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you don't miss any videos that come out. All right, let's get into it. Now, motivated sellers. Motivated sellers, number one is you have to have motivated sellers. You have to have lots of motivated sellers in your business. Without them, you don't have a business. Now, let me draw a correlation. Your income is in direct proportion to the amount of motivated sellers you have in your business on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual basis. So, people come to me and say, hey, I'm struggling in my business. My first question to them is how many leads did you generate this week? Right? And you cannot build a multi-million-dollar business. You can't build a business making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year unless you have leads coming in every single week. And that's what we're going to talk about, the three different methods to generate those leads, free, cheap, and paid methods to make it happen. All right. So now you're struggling and you got leads. So how many leads do you have coming in? That's easy. It's all mathematical. This whole business is math. And it's essentially, you want to find out, you got to go, okay, how many leads does it take to convert a deal? On average, it's about 25 leads to get a deal is pretty much the industry standard. If you're really good, it might be 1 in 10, 1 in 15. If you kind of suck, right, it might be 1 in 40, 1 in 50 leads. So you got to kind of figure out your number. How many leads does it take for you to go out and get a contract? Then you just do the math. You want, 10 contracts in a year and it takes you, 20 leads. Well, you need 200 leads coming in to be able to do that. So, all right. So now let's talk about the conceptual idea of leads, these motivated sellers. You got to picture motivated sellers like gold nuggets. And you are digging for gold. You're looking for gold. Now, when you're digging for gold, guess what? There's a lot more dirt than there is gold. So let's define dirt. Dirt is someone that wants retail, someone that's not motivated, someone that owes too much, on a property. Dirt would be, you make an offer and oh my gosh, your offer is way too low. I would never take that. That is dirt, right? That is dirt. You cannot convert dirt into gold. You can't make dirt turn into gold. Believe me, I've seen people that try to do it, and I tried to do it myself. The first ever appointment I went on, I think the house was worth like, 180, and they wanted 175, and the place was trash. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we got a deal, right? I got $5,000 in equity, and that's a smoking deal. I didn't know that I was talking to dirt. I just knew they wanted to sell, and they wanted to sell for 175, and the thing was worth 180,000, right? So that was dirt. Now we got to look at that. So now here's the other question. So let's say theoretically you could dig all the gold you wanted, as much as you wanted, right? And you found like this area, and we're talking specifically about gold, right? It's now what, $1,800-$1,900 an ounce, and you found this mountain, and behind this mountain was this little kind of cave hole, and you could go in and you could dig, and you go there and you dig gold, and there's gold in that mountain. Now, would you show up with a spoon where you could just dig, right? And you could start digging dirt, right? And you find a gold nugget here and a gold nugget there and a gold nugget one week and a gold nugget the next week, which, might be good at $1,900 an ounce. But or would you show up with a shovel where you can move a lot more dirt out of the way, which means you can find more gold? Or would you show up with an earth mover to kind of move all that dirt out of the way, pull it open, pull up the side of the mountain open, and get as much gold as you can? Now, I want to tell you nationally, there are millions of motivated sellers out there, right? And the more dirt you move, the more gold you'll find, the more motivated sellers you will find. So what happens is that we want to decide, do we want to bring an earth mover, or do we just want to come up and show up with a spoon? Now, what is showing up with a spoon? Someone that's getting 2, 3, 4, 5 leads a week. What is someone that's showing up with a shovel? Maybe they're getting 10, 15, 20 leads a week. What's someone that's showing up with a new earth mover? They're getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads a week coming in every single week. Now, you have to have a team of people, be able to process those leads, but that's how you grow and scale the business. All right. So now we got these leads coming in. We know what we're looking for. We're looking for gold. We know there's going to be more dirt than gold that comes in. So let's now define gold, right? Now, gold are motivated sellers, of course, what we're talking about. And motivated sellers comes in about 3 different categories. So we've got financial distress, we got circumstantial distress, right? And we got physical distress in the property. So let's talk about financial. What could be financial distress? So this is what you're listening for when you're talking to a seller. Seller calls in, you talk to them on the phone, and you're listening for these things. You're asking questions about what the situation is, and it's less about the property, it's more about them. It's interesting. We did a training with my team this past Tuesday, and we listened to calls. We listened to our sales team's call, and one of our sales reps was talked all about the property. Tell me about the bedroom. Tell me about the bathrooms. Tell me about the roof. Tell me about how many acres is it on? What's the situation? About the property. Well, guess what? The property could be distressed, right? Could be trashed, and we'll get to that. But it's more about what the person. If you focus on the person versus the property, you're going to really understand where there's distress. Now, and they're going to tell you. So there could be financial distress. It could be in foreclosure. They could have lost their job and now they can't pay for the mortgage anymore. Maybe and that's part of circumstantial too. Maybe they have some sort of liens on the property or whatever. Maybe it's, that would be code violations, would be some sort of, distress when the physical of the property. So maybe there's some sort of financial reasons where they need cash and they need cash now, and they want to sell that property and turn it into cash. The next thing would be circumstantial. So what would be some circumstantial distress? A divorce. They got transferred, right? Now they got to move, and now they got to deal with 2 houses and 2 mortgages. I don't want, people don't want to do that. Maybe a renter trashed the place. That could be a circumstantial situation. You have partners that own the property, and now they want to sell the property. I own a large apartment complex in Oklahoma, and we got a smoking deal on this apartment complex. We bought the thing for $12 million, and $12 million apartment. It was because of these partners. Partners owned it, and they just hated each other, and they just wanted to get rid of this the student housing property that we own in Texas right now. So, not in Texas, but in Oklahoma. So the bottom line is partners have issues. That could be circumstantial. Another thing would be distress of the property, meaning there is physical distress. It could be boarded up. It could be code violations. It could be, fire damage, right? It could be trashed again for whatever reason the property's trashed. It could be a hoarder house and there's a bunch of junk in the house. There could be a death in the house. We went recently to a property here, not last week, but the week before, but there was a death in the house and she was a hoarder at the same time, and just a terrible situation. Holy cow, the place smelled. Now, it was local. We happened to go there. I took one of my sales reps there, and we went and got the contract. So the bottom line is you've got to understand distress, and you're listening for that distress. So how do you pull out distress when you're talking to a seller? I simply just ask them the question, and this is like in the first couple minutes, hey, thanks, you want to sell my house? So, hey, what's the situation? What's going on? How can we help you? Right? And now just listen. Instead of focusing so much on what you're going to say, listen to what they say. And, and they will tell you, what the situation is. Oh, I inherited the property. Well, that's a circumstantial and potentially a distressed situation. Your ears should go up. Words like, well, we just want to get rid of the property. I'm just, we're sick of having the property. We just want to be done with it. Well, we can't afford to make payments anymore on the property. Those are clues and sign of distress. Now, remember, most people you're going to talk to, they want to sell for the realtor. They're with a realtor and sell at the highest price. Guess what? There's a small portion, 2 to 3% of the people you're going to talk to that are gold. They're going to have a distress, and your job as a real estate wholesaler and why you get paid to do what you do and how you get paid to make a $10,000, $5,000, $50,000, $20,000, $30,000 spread on a property. The number one reason is because you are going to solve a problem. That is the only reason you are bringing value to the situation, where they might have a title issue. We bought properties where family members are feuding over a trashed inherited property. And now we've got to bring the family members together. Divorced couples are just, they're going after each other, right? But they have this house, they got to turn around and sell. Foreclosures, those are problem situation. Trash, tenant problems, where now there's a tenant that's living in the property and they won't get out. Right? What do you do? How do you solve that problem? So if you understand the situation and you can learn how to solve that problem, then you can help that motivated seller, because that's why they're motivated, right? We don't really add value to a situation where everyone's hunky-dory and they just want to be able to sell their property. We don't have value there. We add value to where there's distressed property, distressed situation, and we can come in and we can fix it. The bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck that you will get. So people get discouraged by problems. I love problems. Bring it on, right? I don't care what the problem is. We are going to try to find a way to solve that problem any way possible. We're going to have a great attitude about it. And then we're going to do what we can do to solve that problem, because we know the bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. My whole team knows that. We know that's why we earn our money in this business, by solving hard and difficult real estate problems. All right. Now we understand that, right? We understand the thing. Let's talk about now how to find those motivated sellers. We got 3 ways to find them, right? We got free, we got cheap, and we got paid. And we're going to talk about all 3. I'm going to take you in some sites. There'll be links below in the description of the links we talk about here in this video, so you can have easy access to them. But let's get into the first one. Let's talk about free methods. Now, free, for sale by owner. Now, you can, let's say, click on this one. This is List with Freedom, forsalebyowner.com, right? So we got for sale by owner, forsalebyowner.com. If I put in, let's say, Greenville, South Carolina, I can go here, right? And you put 400 miles. I can put, within 50 miles, search if there's anything in there. We have great home for sale in Dana Hill. Uh-oh. Oh, that was weird. Sorry about that. The video kind of went out. Green Hill. Basically we can go here and we can, this one's fully renovated. Great home for sale in Dana Hill, 55 plus, right? And now what we can do is we can call them, contact the owner, right? And call that seller and ask them about the property. And we could just talk to them, find out the situation, see if we could solve that particular problem. The other thing is Zillow. You can go to Zillow and say, okay, listen, I want to go to, say, Phoenix, Arizona. Right there. And I'm going to go for sale and I'm going to go buy owner. I'm going to unselect and just go buy owner. Right. And I'm going to go property types. So I want to pick houses. You can do townhouses if you want. Right. And it's going to basically put a whatever it's called, a boundary around Phoenix. And now you got, say, 14 listings right here. And now it's this one. You got a for sale by owner, 492. You got this one, for sale by owner, 750. You got this one right here, $8 million. It looks like 107th Ave. And wow, this looks like a piece of land out there. I might have to look at that piece of land. Here's $90,000 for sale by owner. Here's 480. So you can go and find information on these properties and then call. Look at this one, price cut 30,000. I'd probably go after this one right here. Look at it's $1 million property you could figure out and do something with. 996 for this one right here. So you just basically go through and call these up, find out and make offers on these particular properties. Now, if you want to learn how to make offers, I have a video that you can look at my go back to my videos on YouTube. I talked about how to make low offers to sellers and how to do it strategically. And again, most of these people, 95%, are not going to be moated. They're going to be dirt. But what are you looking for? Gold. So don't get discouraged because you're digging dirt and talking to sellers. You're getting better talking to sellers, right? Just know that you're getting better. You're learning more. You're having conversations. You're getting more confident talking to sellers. You're going to get better. All right. So now those are two. That is cheap ways. So you literally have the entire United States you can target. If you're doing deals virtually, you can talk to sellers over the phone. Guess what? You can do deals all across the country. Now, if you, if you don't know how to do deals nationally or whatever, I have a live training that I did that I recorded, and you can go check that out. It's Bear Market Millions. It's the link below. You can go check that out. That will show you the 7 steps on how to do deals nationally all across the country, how to pick a market, how to generate leads, the whole thing. We give you scripts on what to say and all that type of stuff. So just, go ahead and look at that. You can check that out if you want. All right. So now those are free methods. Let's talk about cheap methods to get started. So what are some easy, cheap methods? Well, you can pull a list from REI Automator, link will down below, and you can text them or you can call them, right? So let's get into what that looks like. Right here. So this is REI Automator. I'm going to put in here, say Phoenix, Arizona, right? And I'm going to go through and I'm going to basically go here. And I'm going to start, like, these are different distress. Vacant could be distress, liens, pre-foreclosures. We've got high equity, free and clear, bankruptcy, divorce situation, tax delinquencies. They haven't paid their property taxes. You've had zombie properties, which are people in pre-foreclosures that are vacant. So if I was going to say zombie properties, these are 13 pre-foreclosures that are vacant. That's a good list, right? That's a good list we could do. It's small, but we got this one right here, 436. And now we can say, okay, property characteristics. We want to just go single family and multifamily. MLS status, we want it not on the market, right? We want to go valuation. We want to go estimated equity, 50% or more. Now it's going to give us 240 names that we could turn around. We can turn that into a list. We can add it to a list right here. We can add it to a list, and then we can then go take that list. If we wanted, we could skip trace the list over here. Then we can export that list. Now we skip trace it, and we can call them or text them. You can use, any calling service you want. You can use your cell phone. It doesn't matter. Don't get caught up on how am I going to call them, right? Don't worry about it. Just pick up the phone. I did business 99% of the time without any of this stuff for years and years, just with my cell phone. Okay. Now you can use something like this, Smarter Contact, and Smarter Contact is probably one of the best texting platforms out there that you can actually get your text sent out to sellers, and it creates conversations inside here, so you can see like it almost like a texting platform, like conversations. You can watch the video, but you can go out and do that. You can get local numbers in that local market. So if you're in Phoenix, you can get a Phoenix-based number, which works really well with response rates when you're using something like this. So Smarter Contact is a great way to turn around and be able to text sellers or call them. Those are two cheap methods. You can get REI Automators, $97 a month to pull a list of 10,000 or more. And Smarter Contact is fairly cheap. You can do that and you can send out some text messages. So that's a cheap method to generate leads, and you can do that every single day. Now, the next one is paid. So here's a question I get. What's the best lead source? So if you were going to sit down with, 10 multi-million-dollar a year businesses that wholesale houses, right? If you're going to sit down with 10 people and they were going to sit down with them, remember, I've been doing this for 19 years. I pretty much know everybody in the industry that does, millions of dollars in revenue. We have a mastermind where we have people doing millions of dollars in revenue in our mastermind. They tell exactly what they do and how to do it at syndicate9.com. So anyway, so the bottom line is that if you're looking at them sharing, they have one of three or all three components when it comes to generating. So a multi-million-dollar a year producer that does millions of dollars in revenue, it's basically pay-per-click advertising, either Google or Bing or both combined. There is direct mail, especially nationally. You can do it all across the entire country, or TV advertising. With those mediums, you can build a $10 million a year plus wholesaling operation and do deals all across the entire country. So let's first talk about AdWords, right? So AdWords is, here's basically in my account right here that we've been doing. So you can see I've spent about $3.5 million, generated about 39 million impressions, have received 295,000 clicks, and I generated 34,353 leads at an average cost of $1 a lead. My current campaigns, these are running right here. We spent 711,000, and we generated about 10,060 leads at about $70. So we've reduced it $30, which is huge, and increased our conversion from 17% to 5%. So I'm always testing I got a new test campaign right now. I'm always testing new campaigns. We're at $80 cost per conversion, 18% conversion. This one we're at $67 cost per conversion, 19%. So these are nationwide exact and broad match campaigns that we put together. So basically, you're spending this, but these are generating leads on autopilot. It literally just drives traffic to your website. So if you're not familiar with pay-per-click, if I go here into Google, I go sell my house fast cash, right? If I do that, so here, look we have this one, close fast cash, #1 Phoenix home buyers. If I click on this ad, it will take it to a landing page. Sell my house fast, house offer, heroes. Here's Doug Hopkins sponsored right here. #1 cash buyer, home buyer, cash offers, sell now. And here, so these are essentially, these are sponsored, these are paid advertising. And how you get here is you have to have AdWords, Google AdWords, which is right here, Google Ads. And what this will do is it'll allow you to bid for the top positions. And you can do this nationally all across the entire country. So that is Google AdWords. It's an incredible way to generate leads 24/7. And because they're typing in relevant search terms like sell Sell House Fast or We Buy Houses or cash buyers or cash best companies that buy houses, what happens is you're going to get a high quality lead that comes in. You're going to talk to them. They're going to make an offer, and you can get those properties under contract and you make millions of dollars doing it. So what is the next way? So that's Google AdWords. I have an entire course on Google AdWords called PPC Secrets. We teach exactly how to set up structured campaigns all across the country where you can get leads just like that for $70 coming in, and be able to talk to sellers all across the entire country. But all the multi-million-dollar wholesalers I know use AdWords as a medium to generate leads. Now, the next one is yellow letters. Here's yellow letters. Not yellow letters, my fault. Postcards. So like this. This is an example of a first class street view postcard. You got the picture. You got a picture over here. You got a phone number. I want to buy your house. This is a template right here. So this is from Yellow Letter HQ. You can talk to Todd over there, and he can help you. They have different templates right here. It's about 47 cents each. They have different lists. You can target too if you'd like, or we just get them from REI Automator. We pull the list, send it over here, and then we send a postcard just like this out to a seller. And guess what? A seller is going to call, and they're going to be either motivated. They're going to say either take me off your list or whatever, but they're going to call and say, hey, I got a house I'd like to sell. And then you're going to say, great, what's the situation? And you're going to determine if they're dirt or gold. And guess what? You're going to get, depending on the list you target, like you can target pre-foreclosures, just like we did with the texting and calling. We can take that same list and also direct mail them. But you can do pre-foreclosures in markets all across the entire country. I actually did a video of how to pick the best top 5 markets that you want to be in to basically do deals across the country. We actually selected those cities to do business in based upon the median home price. The higher, the better, right? And the average days on market. So we talked about that. If you don't know what markets to actually pull leads from or target with for sale by owners or whatever, you can go out and check that video out. All right. So that is that. The next, last, final one is TV advertising. TV advertising. I'm not going to get too much in to that. I do not, as of right now, I do direct mail, pay-per-click advertising, pretty heavy. Not in TV advertising yet. We will probably get into that space here in the latter part of this year, but TV advertising is another way to generate leads all across the entire country with very little competition, because you have online competition, you got direct mail, but guess what? There's not a lot of people doing nationwide television that's going to drive leads into your business. All right, so those are the ways to generate deals, motivated sellers. Now it becomes numbers, right? How many leads should you generate a week? Well, if you want to make $100,000 a year, where's my calculator right here? Do some math for you. Or if you want to make 100,000 here, let's do the math. Let me show you what the math looks like. If you say, I want to do $100,000 a year. So what you have to do is figure out first, what is your average deal size? Okay. Well, we got to figure out a deal size. So you got 100,000 a year. Let's say your average deal size is $12,000 divided by 12 equals. So you get about 8. Let me see. You got 100,000 a year divided by 12,000 equals 8. So you got 8.33. Okay. So now let's just round it up to 9, right? So we got 9. So we got to close 9 deals at $12,000 a year to go out and make $100,000. That's not a lot, 9 deals. Now you figure out your average deal size. If you don't have an average deal size, you can put 12,000, 10,000. That's a good number to use if you don't have an average deal size. But our average deal size is $38,000. That's ours right now. Because obviously we got a highly trained team. We know how to make offers and stuff like that. On an average brand new wholesaler, it's between $10,000 and $12,000. So $12,000 per deal, we need to do 9 of them. So now what we do is we figure out how many leads it takes to get a contract. So if you don't know those numbers, it's on average about 25 leads to get a contract. So what do? We take 9. We got to get 9 contracts times 25 leads equals we need 225 leads a year to go out and generate $100,000 in revenue. Now, what we're going to do is divide that by 12, and that gives us about almost 19. Let's call it 20 to make it easy. So we need 20 leads a month that we can generate to make $100,000 a year in revenue. Divide that by 4. That's essentially 5 leads a week. So now it becomes, what's your mission? What's your mission? I've got to generate 5 leads a week. I can do it with for sale by owners. I can do it for free methods. I can do it cheap methods. But the bottom line is that what the difference maker between success and not success is the guy or girl who says, listen, I want to get 5 leads this week, right? And Friday comes, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And you're going, I got 3. And you go home and go, oh, I'll do it next week. That is a failure mindset. A person that will make it, that will crush it, it's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock on a Friday, and they go, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to crush it. I'm going to get 2 more leads this week because I committed to getting 5 leads. I don't care what it takes. Or you're going to work the weekend. You know how many weekends? Probably for the first couple of years, I worked every single day and I worked weekends. When I got into the education business, I had to learn how to record podcasts. I have a podcast. You can go on iTunes and search Sean Terry or Flip to Freedom. I have a podcast there. I learned how to record podcasts. I learned how to get online. I learned how to build a website. I taught myself HTML. And I pretty much built that multi-million-dollar education business from 10 o'clock at night to 2 o'clock in the morning. Right? Because it was quiet and I could focus and I could teach myself and learn how to do stuff. So, it's how bad do you want it to go out there and crush it? And this business is an incredible business where you can literally, make more in a month than the average person makes in a year. All right. So I hope this helps. Go out there and crush it. You got your numbers. 5 leads a week for 100,000, 10 leads a week for 200,000 and beyond. So go out there and crush it. Have an amazing time, and I'll see you. Take care. God bless.
I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go